This is how I went from wanting to kill myself in a state of hell consciousness and poverty, debt, poor relationships, you name it, misery, to ascending to a heaven state of consciousness where all is well, loving, peaceful. I have a beautiful house on the hills that I'm renting. I live here though. That's amazing. Successful businesses and loving relationships, friends, and a beautiful life. And I want to share with you, this is going to be a very deep video, but yeah, I want to bring you along to show you that there is hope and there's light at the end of the tunnel if you are struggling. So yeah, before we get into that, hit the like, subscribe, leave a comment. I love interacting with you, and the growth on this channel has warmed my heart. May peace and love be on your soul and all your wishes and dreams harden into facts. I love you. All right. So I'm just going to go off the top of the head here. At one point in my life, 3 years ago, I was at the lowest point. So pure depression, what you would call hell. Okay. And I just did not understand how life worked. Everything around me was, I shouldn't say everything, but a lot of things just weren't, desirable. Cars breaking down, having to bike to work on a flat tire in the rain, living in a rundown house where there's like rubbish bags everywhere and messy kitchen. What else were we doing? Poor, in debt, no money consciousness, didn't know how money worked, didn't know how to sustain it or make it, and I didn't understand why. Okay, this is 3 years ago, so we won't go about before that. I just want to go from the core. And I got to a state of crying myself to sleep, okay, or waking up crying, walking to work crying. I worked at a place called Lululemon at the time, and it's a beautiful place. I owe this place a lot because they transformed my life in many ways. But at Lululemon, if you know it, everyone's very joyful and happy, which I have been very joyful and happy, but until the point that I just didn't understand, and I got to breaking point. Okay, so I'd be going to work, being around really happy people, but I was dying inside. I'd cry going home, and I felt I was living a lie. And at this time, I'm a musician as well. I love making music. I love creating. It's amazing. And I moved into this flat with my best friend to make music. And because I was sad, I'm like, I'm going to vent, right? I'll show some clips of the music I was making. Hanging from a noose like a necklace. Tie that noose up, I'm feeling reckless. 6 feet in depression, don't test this. Razor blades in my skin, I'm fearless. I'm going to vent my emotions. So I was writing down, I'm depressed, and suicide thoughts, my parents cry. Hoping to die, this is my life. Suicide thoughts and my parents, they cry. Hanging from a noose like a necklace, and all this wild lyrics, which at the time, the state of consciousness I was at, I thought it was super cool. It's like, it was really cool. The music is great, and people loved it. But the thing is, because I had such dark lyrics, and I thought I was venting, I'd listen to it over and over again, but what I was doing was impressing it deeper into my subconscious mind and convincing myself of these lyrics that I was depressed and I was suicidal and sad and demons in my mind and, get me out of here, get out my head type thing. Because I was feeling like that, and I thought I was venting, but little did I know, your words have power, and what you say after the word I am becomes your reality. And what did I have after those words? The most lowest vibrational thoughts and words possible. And of course, whatever gets imprinted on the subconscious mind, if you do not know the subconscious mind, we have a deeper mind which controls 99% of our life. I'm consciously making this video, but there's a lot of works behind me. All my thoughts, beliefs, and everything that rule my life. So I was imprinting my subconscious mind with this dark stuff. And my mum would be like, Gareth, why are you making this dark music? You speak about demons, like that's not good for you. But at the time I was just like, oh, it's heavy metal, I love it, like it's cool. You can stop it, I don't care, Mum. But she was right, it wasn't good for me. Your mum's right, listen to your mum. But the subconscious mind, whatever gets imprinted onto it, it reflects on your external reality. And because I said I'm depressed and I'm poor and all that, my outer world reflected that back, you know. All these events would happen that would make me more sad. Relationships would go mad. You know, I'd get to getting abused and yelled at. You know, being surrounded by just events and situations and circumstances that would just keep reaffirming these negative beliefs. You know, I thought I was a loser. I thought, you know, wasn't good enough. So people would reflect that back to me. You know, it's wild, okay? But yes, so I was writing this music and I got so depressed and so dark, you know, smoking weed, cigarettes, drinking myself like into a state of unconsciousness, alcohol, you know, the alkyl, the conscious eating spirit. And I loved it, you know, I thought it was so fun listening to depressing music and drinking and doing silly things. And you know, I just didn't love myself. That was it. I didn't love myself, so I didn't know how to. So I'd suppress it. But yeah, we were drinking and just doing silly things. And I just got to a breaking point. And this is actually quite funny. Hold on. Okay, so this is funny. If you know Tekashi 6ix9ine, the rapper, I watched the interview and he grew up in poverty, right? So he grew up really, you know, in poverty. And he said, I just called out to God to help me. And from that moment, his life changed. And I was like, well, this guy has like millions of views. He's got heaps of money and seems to be doing well. Like, I know his content's a bit wild, but that's him expressing himself. That's the I am expressing through him. God. So I tried it. After crying, I was just like, God, help me. I've never done it before. You know, I was scared of God because of old preachy people saying hell and all that stuff, you know, a bit of trauma around that. But I was like, okay, I'm just going to give this go. God, help me. I'm scared of myself and I don't know what to do. And I'm afraid I'm going to kill myself because that's where my thoughts are. And I went to sleep, woke up, biking to work on my flat tire. I'm like, oh, feeling miserable, crying. Got to my job, Lululemon, walked in, and they have a bookshelf at the back, okay? Lululemon's a great place. And there's a yellow book. I'd never seen it before, never been in my awareness, just glowed, like stood out. And I grabbed it, and it said, how to stop doubting your greatness. And what is it? No, you are a badass. How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Live an Awesome Life by Jen Sincero. And I was like, whoa, that's weird. I hadn't read for 10 years because I was diagnosed with ADD and dyslexia. So I always told myself I was stupid that I couldn't read because that's like what they, you know, the school and the teachers tell you. And because that was my belief, it was true. I believed I couldn't read, so I couldn't. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to read this. I opened it. First chapter, I think it was called the G word. God, universe, divine, anything, whatever you want to call it. Jesus, Allah, anything, God, all the names for the one God. Is only one source. And it's nameless. You cannot name something that is so far beyond our understanding, okay? So I'm going to use the word God, just so we know. And it's the one power that is individually expressed through you, through me, through everything you see. There's only God. I read it, and it said, there's a higher power that can help you if you call out or you ask through your thoughts and feelings and what you write down or imagine. And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. All right. And then the next one was called, it was about the subconscious mind. Subconscious mind, from 0 to 7, children do not really have a conscious mind. They can't make decisions. That's why there's drinking ages and, ages to drive and stuff, because people are developing, your brain's developing. You tell a kid, drink this water and you can fly and jump off the roof. They believe everything. So you're like a computer, and everything you see, touch, taste, feel, get told, or, hear as a child, it gets stored into you. And they become your core beliefs. So if you grew up in a household that was full of anger, or like, I don't know, you got bullied or called loser and you're not good enough as a child, at the time you're like, okay, like, I'm a kid, but that gets encoded in you and then suppressed on the subconscious mind, which reflects your outer reality, reflects back your deep beliefs. So I learned that, and I had the biggest light bulb moment. Boom, I am where I'm at through my thinking, thoughts, and beliefs due to upbringing, school, people, bullies, TV, media, radio, all the group mind that tells you, you're not good enough, or you can't do this, or be scared of this, be scared of that. And that was my whole life. I'd been running on the carnal mind of fear, and I just had this big moment. Oh my gosh, the music I have been making drove me into a deep depression. My thoughts. And this book tells you can do anything, really encouraging. I so highly suggest it. So I wrote down, I was like, and they said, I was like, how to make money online then? I would like to see if this is true. I'll see if I can make a business. Came across social media marketing, wrote down that I am, a business owner, and everything. I wrote a wee list of things I'd like to achieve. And while still going to Lululemon, I started listening to affirmations that I am confident, I am happy. I started talking to myself kindly, like, oh, come on, Gareth, what are we going to do today? You're so cool. I love being you. You're a great person. And, I was lying to myself at the time because I didn't believe it. I was like, I'm not cool. I'm not happy. I'm not confident. People don't like me. I'm a loser. But those thoughts would come and I'd be like, no, this is the new one. I am confident. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am wise. Listen, falling asleep nonstop listening to these, walking to work. And as I was at work, walking around, I'd be repeating my head like, I'm confident. So I started acting like I was confident. And about a week later, it just started changing, and I started feeling confident. I started feeling happy, and like I could, and that there was possibility to change my life. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is working. This is working. People started being like, Gareth, there's something different about you. What's going on? Yeah. And so affirmations. I started using affirmations and writing stuff down. And then I signed up to this thing at Lululemon that they flew me to Melbourne for 3 days for purpose and practice, where we did meditation, yoga, and personal development, looking into our shadow self and finding our negative beliefs and being away from my current environment for 3 days around a whole new group of people who were all uplifted. There was 100 of us, 100 plus people who were like, head of companies of helping people change their life. That completely rewired my mind. It leveled me up from vibration and frequency. Everything is vibration and frequencies carry information. So if you can elevate yourself to the right frequency, all the information on that frequency would come to you. See, I was on a very low one, so I got all the information down there, poverty and debt and sadness and whatnot. Okay, so I ended up coming back on a different level, and my girlfriend at the time, I come back a different type of person. I was so happy, I tell her like, oh my god, she didn't feel that way. She wasn't at that point. Like, she didn't just come to this beautiful thing. And I love her. She's amazing. And I know she's doing great now. But we no longer related. And we broke up, you know. And I also had just moved from that old house, because in the book it talked about your environment is so important. And I was like, I need to get it. I can't be healthy in that environment that's attributed to me being sick. So I moved out to a new place with a new friend. And I was like, I'm going to do business. I have no idea how to do business. Wrote it down. 6 months later, I had my business. I wrote down, I will quit my job. I am doing marketing full time. You know, I make money with ease. I can do it, you know, building my confidence up. And then, yeah, 6 months later, boom, I had quit my job. I was in the office working full time. At one point I was earning, I think, like 78K in a month. And for someone that has, I know, like, money consciousness, I didn't know what to do with it. You know, I just spend it. Because if you subconsciously don't feel you deserve money, you will unconsciously spend it and get rid of it because you don't deserve it. If someone has told you growing up, money doesn't grow on trees or money's the devil, when you have money, you'll subconsciously be like, I'm the devil, I'm going to get rid of this, I don't deserve it. Okay, so I had to work around my money mindset constantly to attract money, because if I attract money, I can do good things. I can help more people, I can pay for meals, I can help my family, etc. And yeah, 6 months later transformed my life. But the thing is, when you change the inner thoughts and impress new things on your subconscious, the outer world breaks down so the new one can come in. So friends that you used to hang out, if you related on like being sad or whatnot, and you're different, you're not going to relate. So people fall away, or they think you're weird and crazy, or, you know, but that's okay, because other people come in and into your life as you go through your process of learning in this human experience. I keep speaking about, you know, thank you God, or I was using the word universe at the time because I was, you know, the word God has such a trigger. But I just, yeah, thank you universe, thank you God, and things just started getting better and better. But then I ended up having a huge spiritual awakening. I got the book Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. I should mention I had started trying to meditate. I had the Morning Miracle book that talked about meditation, but because I was like ADD, my thoughts, I couldn't do it. I'd start with like 5 seconds at a time. You know, 30 seconds, oh, minute. Oh, now I can do it hours if I really, I did an 8-hour meditation if I really wanted to. Meditation cured my ADD. But yeah, I read Becoming Supernatural, and then there was a meditation called Blessing of the Energy Centers, where you go through each of your energy centers, blessing it with a new frequency and new information. So I'd be like, I bless this center of order, coherence, and wholeness, the joy to be alive, while focusing on the root. And it started burning. I'm like, what the fuck is happening to me? I keep going up. And then the Ida and Pingula, they call it, it's Kundalini, Jacob Lavender, if you want to look at it in the Bible. Boom, this energy came all the way up through my heart, like it was blasting through all my energy centers, and it was quite painful, and my whole body's like a snake. Keep doing it. And I was like, oh, this is weird, what's happening? And then I'd do the meditation again, it started getting more profound. And I was like to my friend Tim, like, my body is becoming a snake. And he's like, that's Kundalini. I said, what the fuck? So I looked it up, and yeah, keep doing it. And then it opened my heart. Boom, my whole heart exploded. Like, I tell you, when I say explode, I mean exploded. And the most immense feelings of love I've ever felt came into me. My brain exploded. I used to be quite illiterate, dumb. My brain exploded. Boom, pulsating, head, my whole crown exploded, and I had this pure vision of me standing on the house, looking over the city, the rail, with man, the head blowing. And I was like, what the hell is happening to me? And this energy just keeps surging. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I'd be driving and I'd look at a tree and start crying because I had so much love and I didn't know how to handle like this love. I never felt it in my life. That I started in a spiritual awakening, and that kind of messed me up for a bit, I should say. I went a bit, bit loopy, trying to integrate what was happening to me. But then it got even more intense. So that rose up. Another night, Ella came, ascended down into me. And my body was filled with electricity for hours, surging through me. And I'm like, what is happening? Like everything's moving around me. It's the Holy Spirit. It was divine grace. I don't want to go too deep onto this video, but it was such an awakening of God, Christ awakening in me. Golden liquid came and like filled my whole body and purified me, and it was amazing. And like it just burnt away all this trauma, all this hurt, all this pain. Yeah, and I just have so much love for people. You know, I merged with everything. I couldn't tell the difference between myself or a wall or my bed or a tree. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm one with everything. And God, I am one with God. I'm not separate. It's not some man. It's a pure divine source. And the amount of love that God can give you is, it is insane. And I want you to look at me right now. You are more loved than you can even fathom, okay? And you can transform your life. You can completely change your life through your thoughts, your imagination, and your assumptions and meditation, okay? Silencing your mind, silencing the carnal mind, the survival centers of these. If you can get up into the heart, the throat, the spiritual eye, the crown, these are the creations. This is how, that is heaven. And you can do it. I did it. I know this to be truth. Yes. Okay, that was that. I don't want to go too deep into that, but most spiritual experience ever happened. And since then, my life has been completely changed and transformed. And yeah, I went from highly depressed, sad, kill myself, to living on a beautiful house in the hills, looking over the city, nice business, beautiful people supporting me like yourself watching this video. I love you. Thank you. Nice business, but I put in the work. I did the shadow work. I wrote down everything. You know, I looked in the mirror and was honest with myself. I wrote down every dark thought I had about myself on the paper, and I rewrote them to a new positive. So I'm a loser instead of loser. I am loved and respected by all. Okay? And you repeat these new words, these new phrases in your mind until they submit on the unconscious mind. God, the unconscious mind, is no respecter of anything. You tell it, whatever you put after I am, you become. You know, you can plant a seed, a rose, a beautiful rose, or some deadly weed killer or weed. Whatever you water, well, you get the harvest of. This is your mind. Your mind is so important. And what you feed it, including the music you listen to, the lyrics, you are programming yourself. The TV, television, television, it is programming you. And whatever impresses will reflect back. Your reality will keep bringing it into your life. So it's important to only tell yourself nice things like, I am love, I am peace, I am joy, I am joyous. Only good things come to me. I have loving relationships. You know, I am successful, I am happy, I am wealthy, I am wise, I am joyful, I am loved. So look at that, just straight away, joy, joy. Yeah, no, I learned to elevate my emotions and get out of those darker states. And you can do it too. You can transform your life. This is 3 years ago. If you told me 3 years ago I'd be living on a beautiful mansion looking over the hills of a successful business and a healing practitioner business where I help people dive deep and release encoded trauma and start creating the life they want, I would have laughed at you. I would have laughed. But it's true. And because I wrote it down, what I desired, you know, I went deep. I changed my old negative limiting beliefs, changed my environment, changed people that might not be serving me to my highest goal. You know, you put the work in, you be honest, and just have the vision of what you want to create. And then you imagine that you are that person. You know, I fell asleep imagining I lived in the hills, fell asleep imagining that I had a great life, fell asleep imagining that I was debt-free. Never fall asleep sad or lacking. Imagination. Use your imagination. It is the power of God. Your feelings and imagination. You are giving your imagine, and then he goes to prepare a place for you, and then you will meet. And it works. It works. Watch my other videos. I describe how to do this. I love you and I want to help. And if I can in any way, that would be great. But yes, see, there's so much. I'm missing a lot, but essentially get still, get quiet in your mind, sit, connect with God, whatever terminology, language you want to use. It's only one, and then it's in every single person laying within you. It's not something separate to you. He is, he, she, whatever language. He doesn't speak language. It's feelings and imagination. Yeah, I hope this has really helped you, and thank you for sticking with me. And a bit emotional. That's okay. I want to be vulnerable to show that you can be vulnerable. Work out the issues in your life. Go back through all your beliefs. Are they your beliefs or are they someone else's? Are they empowering you or disempowering you? Is your environment empowering you or disempowering you? Are your friends empowering you or disempowering you? Get honest with yourself. And you can do anything. You're a sovereign being of God. You're a child of God, okay? You are not just a, I'm a New Zealander, or I am this, I'm that. You are, we're here for a reason. And if you are still watching this, I'm happy to help and play a part in your life. I just want you to see a beam going from my here to your, and from my heart to your heart. I love you. You are loved, and you can transform your life. You are doing it as we speak. Breathe in. May peace be on your soul, and may love fill every particle of your being and transform your entire life. And it is done. Okay. Hit the subscribe, the like, leave a comment. Follow me on Instagram, Gareth Fleck. Go to my Facebook page, Gareth Fleck Sacred Healings. Go to my website, Gareth Fleck Sacred Healings. If you want to buy some merch or anything, it's in the link. I just want you to know that you can do it, and you will. I love you. Okay. Have a great life.